anything anymore because they don't know how to react when you cannot see anymore, So it's completely different. I totally agree. It's not your story, but for some people who has this evolution of the vision, at one moment when you have really a low vision, when you quite prepare, you cannot know what to do, and then you stay home, you stay on your chair, you don't do anything more, and even more, you cannot play what you did before, and some of them don't want to work with this specialist, They don't want. They stop thinking it will be better tomorrow, and I think this kind of game are a sort of not a therapy, but it's a kind of tool which will help them being more confident thanks to the voice, which help her going further in the game. And I'm quite sure part of them will start again playing with brain games. I'm quite sure. Crosswords. A lot of people who are more than 60 years old or 50 years old as me. Love playing crosswords or any other brain games, and some of them cannot do it anymore. And I'm quite sure this kind of game, I speak about the mode touch and vocal, will help them doing this. And for blind people, I have found some of them in France, and I don't know if you know the association Valentin AUI, which is a big association in France. Some of them who works in these associations are blind, and they really appreciate this kind of game with a total vocal. So they agree with you.
Yes. No, I greatly respect you. I greatly respect you and your game for produce. I agree with you, Laurent, for producing the product to help your mother, to help all blind people around the world. It's really cool. It's just I was simply mentioning this social aspect behind the technology, because I think it's important to talk about and to have a conversation about the way that any technology or any game is connected to society and philosophy behind it. So I think it's really interesting, and I think it's really good that you created a tool to help people become comfortable with the skills that they have and feel comfortable making the adaptations to being a blind person. It's great. It's really cool. So yeah. And
and I want to precise one point to be really complete. This game has been proposed to different associations. I spoke about Valentin AUI, also UNADEV and other ones. So it has been developed with a lot of people which are really which know what they need. Blind people, visual impaired ones, and specialists. So I do my best to really answer all the needs they have when I have to do the conception of this game.
Excellent. And because you started a business for this game, a lot of people who are connected to Aaron's Opinion are business owners themselves or work in the business world. So what steps did you need to take to actually, make this dream a reality? What did you need to do?
Now you speak about at this moment. Okay.
No. In the beginning, what did you need to do to be able to open this business and to be able to get this going?
Well, the first step is the conception phase. So that means to really collect all the needs of the people who will use this game or the specialists. So I've done a lot of meetings with I told you orthophonists, opticians, low vision specialists, ophthalmologists, and then the same with associations of blind people and visually impaired ones. That's to collect all the needs. Then after this, I was sure about the need, but I wanted to comfort my opinion with really a study of the needs. Then I told you, I build a team of game designers, code specialists, computer specialists, to be sure that they will answer my needs. I give them the conception phase with all the needs, and then they have to translate this in a computer way. That's not my job. And now it's done. It took more than 6 months to do this. And now the game is ready, has been tested, and now the last step is to find the best way, as today, in this conference, to help people know that this game exists today on the stores, on the Play Store and on the Apple Store in a few weeks. So that's the important point I have to do now, because this game, I'm quite sure it's important for you too, for you all, but the way to help you know that it exists is really important to find. So that's what I am doing now, and for a few months, I'm quite sure to help people be aware about this new application.
Excellent. Very perfect. Perfect. Well done. Yeah. So what do you have to do to get an app, legally published in the Android market, Google Play Store and App Store? Is it a simple matter similar to podcasting where you just upload content and apply to the platform, or how does that
No.
process
You have
work?
to no. First of all, you have to register. You have to register in the stores as a developer. The first step is to contact the different Apple or Android, and you have to register yourself as a developer, and then you have some rules to follow. Of course, it's not just doing that on my own. There is some rules to follow, and then you have it's really well explained in the two ways, in Apple way and in Android way. It's really clear, and there are some tools to help you follow the good way to do step by step.
Excellent. Good. So, is there as we say in English, is there like a vetting process that the store, let's say like that Google Play Store, does Google do they ask you questions about who you are as a developer? How does Google know, for instance, what developers to accept in their, I mean, I'm just curious about it. Yeah.
No, that's not a problem. But they don't ask you really. They don't ask you for a curriculum vitae. They don't ask you for your story. They just see what you're developing, and they look at what you put on the store, and you cannot put it on the score in one way. You have to put it first for test, for approbation, for evaluation. There is a lot of
Okay, so then right, so then that kind of answers. So that doesn't. Okay, so then they do. So then the answer is yes. It seems like that they do vet the content and review the content before
Absolutely.
they. Okay, so they do some reviewing of content before publishing.
Absolutely, of course,
Oh, okay.
That's what we call a processus. As every way you have to develop something, you have a processus, and they will never let any game or any application goes on their platform before validating that it's on a good way. Of course, that's logic. Yeah.
Right.
We haven't give the name of the game. You want me to say, well, the game in French is mot j'écoute, and in English is word speaking. So why? Because it's an idea, Mot j'écoute in France, that means when you call, when you're on the phone, and the first step you say, hello, Laurent, j'écoute. Bonjour, Laurent, j'écoute. It's like in English when you say, hello, Laurent speaking. Hi, Laurent speaking. Who's on the phone? So that's the idea for the name of this game.
Right, or really, it's like it doesn't translate perfectly to English, but it's like saying like, "Hello, I'm listening to you," like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, yes.
So the name is the name of the game is Mot j'écoute, word speaking, and you will find it on the stores using this Mot j'écoute, even if it's in English, of course. It's exactly the same apps, which can be used in French for French
Mm-hmm.
people, and in English for English people. And if your phone is on English way, of course it is. When you will go on the store, you will have the English version.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and so you guys can click the description or click the link in the description because I will put the website in the description, and then you can
Yeah.
go there and find your respected platform for this. So when is it going to be appearing on the Apple side?
Good question. It should be, I think, in 1 or 2 weeks. I said few weeks every time when I have to write something. I say few weeks because I don't want to to do any mistakes. But what I can say today is I think it will be in 1 or 2 weeks on the Apple stores. And I will of course I will give the information to you and to a lot of people through my Facebook page.
Excellent. You should certainly post in the group. You can post if you want when the Apple link is ready, you should post in the group because a lot of
Sure.
people are Apple users too and would
Yeah, I know.
greatly benefit from that.
Mm.
What would you say it's important to talk about? Some interesting things that happened along the way of this great product. What was the most unexpected challenge that you faced in the creation of this app?
Oh, to be honest, the more difficult point was the voice assistant.
Yeah.
That's the more difficult. Technically, that's the more difficult. The game was really ready on the touch way, you know. Remember,
Hmm.
there is a mode with a touch and vocal way. It was really, it was ready some months ago, but the really difficult part was the challenge
Hmm.
to play with the voice in the same time you play with the touch, and for the way totally vocal one, to have a good vocal assistance, because sometimes it's not easy to understand. You know, you have your accents. Some English people have another accent, Canadians has another accent, and it's not easy to be sure that every time the assistant of the game will understand exactly what you're saying. So you need to use some we have found some solutions to be as best as possible concerning the voice assistant. That's really important for you, because if you use it with only the voice, you know, as blind people, you use it, of course, with 100% vocal way. You really need that the voice assistant understand everything you say, and it's not always the case. Sometimes you have to repeat, you know. So of course the voice of the game will say, "You can you repeat?" Or I don't have understand, but I don't have understood. Sorry, but it has to be one times, not every time, you know. So it was the challenge, but today it works.
Hmm. Excellent. So good. So good. And what would you say was the high point or the most exciting part of creating this game?
Oh, to be honest, the more exciting point was the 6, 7 months later, my first intention for me. It was a challenge, really important, and I wanted really to be sure that what I will and visually that people had, you know, reactions when they played. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. So